My girlfriend said, "You're not exciting enough." I replied, "Then find your thrill." Then I took my car back, ended her gym membership, vanished, and I smiled when exciting got her arrested. Hey Reddit, you know what your problem is? You're just boring, predictable, like a checklist someone follows because they're supposed to. I looked up from my laptop, coffee halfway to my mouth. What? I need excitement, passion, something that makes me feel alive. Melissa crossed her arms, standing in the doorway of my home office like she'd been rehearsing this speech. You're just safe. I set the coffee down slowly. Safe. Yeah, safe. Boring routine. Wake up, work, gym, dinner, Netflix, sleep. Repeat. Is this really all there is? The thing about hearing something like that is, it doesn't hurt right away. It's like watching a glass fall in slow motion. You know it's going to shatter, but for a second, it's just floating there. Then find your thrill, I said quietly. She blinked. What? You heard me. If I'm so boring, go find whatever excitement you're looking for. Are you serious right now? I closed my laptop. Completely. 28 years old, been with Melissa for 2 years, living together for 8 months. Thought we were building something. Turns out I was building it alone. She stared at me like I'd just spoken another language. You're not even going to fight for this. Fight for what exactly? Fight to convince you I'm worth staying with? That's not how this works, Melissa. You just told me who I am to you. I'm a checklist. A safe option. Why would I beg someone to stay who sees me that way? Her face flushed. I didn't mean. I just think we need to shake things up. Do something spontaneous. Be more adventurous. Like what? I don't know. That's the point. You never suggest anything exciting. When's the last time we did something that wasn't planned 3 weeks in advance? I leaned back in my chair. Last month, you wanted to go to that concert. I got tickets the day of, drove 2 hours. We stayed overnight. You said it was one of the best nights we'd had. That's one time. 2 months before that, I surprised you with a weekend trip to the coast. You posted about it for a week. Her jaw tightened. Okay, so you've done some things. I also pay for everything. Silence. I pay the rent on this place. Your car payment, the Audi you're driving? My name's on that loan. Your gym membership. Most of our groceries. The furniture in this apartment. Should I keep going? That's not fair. You're right. It's not. Because apparently, while I'm busy being boring and predictable and making sure we have a stable life, you're busy being ungrateful. She took a step back. I didn't come in here to fight about money. No, you came in here to tell me I'm not exciting enough. Mission accomplished. Now I'm telling you, go find your excitement. I'm done. You don't mean that. I stood up. I really do. What she didn't know, what I hadn't told her because I wanted it to be a surprise, was that I'd been planning something for months. A 3-week trip to New Zealand. Activities, adventure tourism, the whole thing. I'd saved up, arranged time off work, even looked at engagement rings because I thought maybe, just maybe, this was the person I'd spend my life with. That conversation killed all of it in under 5 minutes. She left the office, slammed the bedroom door. I heard her on the phone within minutes, voice muffled but animated, probably calling her best friend, Dakota, who'd never liked me anyway. Dakota thought every guy was either boring or controlling, and there was no in between. I pulled up my banking app and started making moves. First, the gym membership. It was a premium one, $180 a month, in my name because she'd had credit issues when we signed her up. Cancelled. Effective immediately. Second, the Audi. I'd co-signed because her credit score was in the low 600s and she couldn't get approved a loan. The car was technically half mine. I called the dealership, explained the situation, asked about my options. They suggested I could either refinance without her or request a voluntary surrender if she couldn't take over payments. I scheduled a meeting for Monday. Third, I started looking at 1-bedroom apartments. I wasn't being vindictive. I was being practical. She wanted excitement. She could figure out how to fund it herself. She came out of the bedroom an hour later, calmer but cold. We need to talk. Go ahead. I think we should take a break. Just some space to figure out what we want. Okay. She frowned. Okay. That's it. What do you want me to say, Melissa? You want a break? We'll take a break. How long? I don't know. A few weeks? Maybe a month. Fine. But just so we're clear, during this break, you're going to need to handle your own expenses. Her face went pale. What does that mean? It means exactly what it sounds like. I'm not paying for your car, your gym, or anything else while you're off finding yourself. Are you kidding me right now? Not even a little. You want independence and excitement? Start by being financially independent. This is insane. You're punishing me for being honest about my feelings. No, I'm protecting myself from being used. There's a difference. She grabbed her phone off the counter. You're being a complete asshole. Probably. But I'll be a boring, predictable asshole who isn't bankrolling someone else's journey of self-discovery. She stormed out, grabbed her purse, her keys, my keys to the Audi, and left. I sat down on the couch and exhaled. Then I called a locksmith. The locksmith came that night. Changed the locks on the apartment. $220. Worth every penny. Around midnight, I got a text from Melissa. I'm staying at Dakota's tonight. We'll talk tomorrow. I didn't respond. The next morning, I drove to the dealership. Explained the situation in detail to the finance manager. He pulled up the account, looked at payment history. I'd made every single payment on time for 18 months, and nodded slowly. Here's the thing, he said. Since you're the primary on the loan and she's the co-signer, you have more leverage. But the cleanest option is for her to refinance on her own or for you to take full ownership and she walks away. What if she won't agree to either? Then you can technically report the car as being used without permission, but that gets messy. Or you request a voluntary repo, pay off the remaining balance, and you own it outright. Then you decide what happens to it. I thought about it. The car had maybe $8,000 left on the loan. I had that in savings. Let me make a call, I said. I called Melissa. She answered on the third ring, voice sharp. What? We need to settle the car situation. What car situation? The Audi. My name's on the loan. You want a break? That's fine, but I'm not making payments on a car I don't have access to. It's my car. Actually, it's our car. Legally. And I've made every payment. So here's the deal. You either refinance it in your name by the end of the month, or I'm paying off the loan and taking possession. You can't do that. I absolutely can. Talk to a lawyer if you don't believe me. She hung up. 10 minutes later, she called back. Can we please just talk about this like adults? I'm listening. I don't have the credit to refinance. You know that. Then I'm paying off the loan. I'll be by Dakota's place this afternoon to pick up the car. This is insane. You're taking my car because I wanted some space. I'm taking my car back because you wanted space. You don't get the benefits of a relationship without the relationship, Melissa. Silence. I'll leave the keys on the porch, she said finally. Thank you. I picked up the Audi that afternoon. Dakota gave me a death glare from the window, but didn't come outside. Melissa wasn't there, convenient. I drove it back to my apartment complex, parked it in my assigned spot, and sold it online within a week. Got $18,000 for it, paid off the remaining loan, pocketed the difference. Melissa sent me a string of texts calling me every name in the book. I blocked her number. But here's where things got interesting. About 3 weeks later, I got a message request on Instagram from someone I didn't know. Profile name, truthseeker_444. No posts, no followers, generic avatar. The message said, you might want to know what your ex is up to. Normally, I'd ignore something like that. Stalker vibes, drama baiting, whatever. But curiosity got the better of me. Who is this? I replied, someone who thinks you deserve to know the truth. Check Dakota's Instagram story from last night. Melissa's tag. I went to Dakota's profile. Public account, thankfully. Scrolled to her story. And there it was. A video of Melissa and some guy I didn't recognize, clearly drunk, climbing onto the roof of a closed shopping center. Laughing, shouting, another couple with them. The caption, living for the thrill fire. I watched the whole thing. They were loud, reckless. One of them spray-painted something on an AC unit. Melissa almost slipped off the edge at one point. The video was still up. Timestamp, 1:47 a.m. I screenshotted it. Then I checked the location tag. Local mall, about 15 minutes from Dakota's apartment. 2 days later, I saw a news article shared in a local Facebook group. Arrested for trespassing, vandalism at Riverside Mall. I clicked it. There were mugshots. Melissa was one of them. I won't lie, I smiled. Not because I wanted her to suffer. Not because I'm some vindictive psycho. But because the universe has a funny way of delivering irony on a silver platter. She wanted excitement. She wanted passion. She wanted something that made her feel alive. Well, she got it. Along with a misdemeanor charge, a court date, and a very exciting conversation with her parents, I'm sure. The Instagram account, truthseeker_444, messaged me again. Told you. Who are you? I asked. Let's just say Dakota's not as loyal as Melissa thinks. And I'm not a fan of people who treat good guys like garbage. I sat there staring at the screen for a solid minute. Thanks, I typed. I think. You're welcome. Stay boring. It suits you better than jail. The account deactivated right after that. I didn't reach out to Melissa. Didn't gloat. Didn't send her a sarcastic text. I just moved on. Found a new apartment. 1 bedroom, better part of town, closer to work. Started going to a different gym. Signed up for a boxing class, something I'd wanted to try for years but never had time for. Turns out, I wasn't boring. I was just busy investing in someone who didn't see the value. About a month after her arrest, I got an email. From Melissa. Subject line, I'm sorry. I almost deleted it without reading. Almost. But I opened it. I know you probably hate me. I know I don't deserve your time or attention. But I need to say this. I was wrong. About everything. About you. About what I wanted. About what actually matters. I got so caught up in this idea of excitement and living on the edge that I didn't realize I already had everything I needed. You were stable. You were kind. You were responsible. And I threw it away because I thought those things were boring. I thought they meant you didn't care enough to surprise me or take risks. But you did care. You cared more than I deserved. And I was too stupid and selfish to see it. The guy I was with that night, some asshole Dakota introduced me to, told me he was fun and spontaneous. Yeah, spontaneous enough to get us all arrested. He bailed the next morning, and I haven't heard from him since. My parents had to post bail. My mom cried. My dad won't even look at me. I have to do community service and pay a fine I can't afford. I lost my job because they don't want someone with a criminal record working front desk. I'm not telling you this to make you feel bad for me. I'm telling you because you were right. About all of it. I don't expect you to forgive me. I don't expect anything. I just needed you to know that I'm sorry. And that you deserve someone who sees you for who you really are. Someone incredible. I hope you're doing okay. Melissa. I read it twice. Then I closed the email and went for a run. Some people think revenge is about making someone else suffer. About getting even. About making them hurt the way they hurt you. But real revenge? Real revenge is living well. It's moving forward. It's refusing to let someone else's bad decisions become your burden. Melissa made her choices. She wanted excitement. She got it. And now she's dealing with the consequences. Me? I'm good. I'm boring, predictable, and safe. And honestly, that sounds pretty damn exciting to me. A few weeks after that email, I matched with someone new on a dating app. Her name's Vanessa. She's a middle school teacher, loves hiking, has a dog named Biscuit. On our first date, she asked me what I do for fun. Honestly, I said, I like routine. I like knowing what's coming. I like stability. She smiled. That sounds really nice, actually. Yeah. Stability is underrated. Everyone's so obsessed with chaos and drama these days. I just want someone who shows up. I raised my glass. To showing up. She clinked hers against mine. To showing up. I never responded to Melissa's email. Not because I'm cruel. Not because I wanted her to wonder. But because some chapters closed themselves. And you don't owe anyone a response just because they finally figured out what they lost. She wanted excitement. I gave her the freedom to find it. And when it blew up in her face, that wasn't my doing. That was hers. Life's been quiet since then. Boring, even. I'm okay with that. Because boring means I'm not getting arrested. Boring means I'm not scrambling to make car payments I can't afford. Boring means I'm not calling my parents to bail me out of jail. Boring means I wake up every day in my own place, drive my own car, bought a used Toyota, paid cash, and spend my time with people who actually appreciate me. Melissa's out there somewhere, probably still chasing thrills, still looking for the next high. Good for her. I'll be over here, living my predictable, checklist life. Happy, stable, and free. And honestly, I wouldn't trade that for anything. I saw Dakota at a coffee shop a few months later. She pretended not to see me. I didn't acknowledge her either. But as I was leaving, she called out, "Hey." I stopped, turned. "For what it's worth," she said quietly. I told her she was making a mistake. She didn't listen. I nodded. Appreciate that. She's been having a rough time. I'm sure she has. Dakota looked like she wanted to say more, but I didn't give her the chance. I walked out, got in my car, and drove away. I didn't know Melissa my sympathy. I didn't know her my energy. I didn't know her anything. She made her choice. I made mine. And I chose me. Sometimes, people confuse kindness for weakness. They think that because you're patient, because you're steady, because you don't make waves, you're boring. You're easy to take for granted. But kindness isn't weakness. Stability isn't boring. And patience isn't passivity. It's strength. The kind of strength that doesn't need to prove itself by lighting fires just to feel warm. Melissa learned that the hard way. And me? I learned that I don't need someone to validate my worth. I don't need someone to see value in stability for it to matter. I know who I am. And that's enough. Final update. Vanessa and I have been together for 6 months now. She met my family last month. My mom loves her. My dad says she's the first one who's got her head on straight. We're taking things slow. No rush. No pressure. Just two people who show up for each other, day after day, in all the boring, predictable ways that actually matter. And you know what? It's the most exciting thing I've ever experienced.